Good evening. I am Sushil Matthew, the National Overseer of Church of God in Kuwait, and I'm happy to be in the studio here in Kuwait today with my friend, Reverend Chadrick Jordan, Senior Lead Pastor of the Tavern Church of God in Greenville, United States of America. So good to have you in Kuwait for this week, and welcome to this little episode on the Center for Pastoral Excellence. Reverend Jordan is a lead trainer with the Center for Pastoral Excellence, and he's also a certified team member of the John Maxwell training teams. He has 25 years of experience in the ministry and has been in Kuwait this weekend providing some leadership training for pastors. We just had a leadership excellence training at the Lighthouse Church in conjunction with the Churches of God here in Kuwait, and it was a tremendous blessing. So I'd like to have Reverend Jordan share with the audience about the Center for Pastoral Excellence as well as his experience about Kuwait that he had during the past few days. So, Reverend Jordan, tell us a little bit about the Center for Pastoral Excellence. And I know that this is your very first visit to Kuwait.
Yes, sir.
So also let us know what you think about Kuwait in your interaction with the body of Christ in this country.
Amen. Well, let me just begin by saying what a tremendous blessing it has been to be in Kuwait. God has been doing some pretty incredible things through the leadership of Dr. Sushil Matthew. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you these past 4 days and to bring a little bit of resources from the United States and connect with the body of Christ, to be with those. I'm sorry, what?
The camera is active.
Oh, I know. I'm supposed to look at the camera, right? Not him. Yeah. Hey, what I was saying is I'm so glad to be here. It's been a tremendous blessing to connect with the churches here in Kuwait under the leadership of Dr. Sushil Matthew. Tremendous man of God, tremendous passion to see leaders and better pastors, better congregations. And he's poured his own resources into this weekend and worked tirelessly. And from the Center of Pastoral Excellence, we just thought we would come and be a part of this. You know, we wanted to offer some leadership training and some help in maybe resourcing the pastors here under the direction of Bill Isaacs, our leader there in Cleveland, Tennessee. He sent some books and different things for the guys because he has a heart to connect with leaders around the world. And we believe that the hope for the world is a healthy church, and the hope for the church is a healthy pastor. And so in forming the pastoral leadership division called the Center for Pastoral Excellence, what our hope is that the pastors will be strengthened, resourced, and trained to be healthier leaders with healthier families. And that's our hope, to see God do some incredible things around the world.
Well, your visit has certainly been a blessing to our pastors, particularly the pastors of the Churches of God here that work with me. They have never had an opportunity for pastoral training of the kind that we just had this past weekend. So their lives have been touched. They've had a greater enthusiasm, a deeper understanding of what it is that God expects of them in a leadership role. And so I've received numerous positive feedback from our pastors. So the message you brought, the information you shared with us, and the words of encouragement really have touched their lives. Now, it wasn't just the Church of God pastors that came.
Right.
We were initially expecting about 25 of those pastors and leaders, but the response was overwhelming. We had more than 45 registrations, and we had to move locations, if you remember,
Yes, sir.
starting out in a smaller room, moving to a bigger room, and then finishing it up there. So we want to really thank God and thank you, as well as the Center for Pastoral Excellence, for sending you and coming to be a part of what God is doing here in Kuwait through the local churches. Now, tell me a little bit, what was the need for creating a Center for Pastoral Excellence, and what is their main focus? And do they only operate in the United States, or do they also operate outside of the U.S.?
Yes, sir. The Center for Pastoral Excellence was created to be a resource and an avenue to help pastors. We have many divisions, which include coaching, teaching, resourcing, site visits, and one of our strong initiatives is Pastoral Covenant Groups, which is operating actually around the world now. We started out a couple of years ago under the direction of Bill Isaacs, and he really captured the heart of leaders around the world, and they started inviting him, and so he built a team, and we've been going in these various areas and trying to resource the pastors. But if you would like to know more information about that, you can certainly go to the Center for Pastoral Excellence website and go on there, and they've got a ton of information. If you're a leader out there and are interested in some kind of resources, we would love to be able to connect with you.
Now, what is a covenant for pastoral? You said pastoral covenant groups.
Yes, sir.
Would you elaborate just a little bit about that?
Yes, sir.
And how would pastors benefit from that?
Yes, sir. Pastoral covenant groups have been formed to create an avenue for pastors to not feel alone. You know, the one thing that we've realized around the world is sometimes we license ministers and we put them in churches, and then we kind of don't do anything else with them. And sometimes it gets lonely out there. Sometimes pastors find themselves in struggling places, and you don't have to be in a struggling place. You can be in a great place and be alone. And so to combat that, what we've got together is pastoral covenant groups. It's where we send leaders into areas where we're invited, like you invited us here, and we train a couple of leaders or maybe a handful of leaders to be facilitators. The word facilitate means to make easier. And so we don't want them leading groups. We want them just facilitating a group, just inviting the pastors in their region to get together, to come together for 5 elements. We want them to create an area where they can connect, an area where they can covenant, an area of care, an area of collaboration, and an area of celebration. That's the 5 elements of a pastoral covenant group. And what we find is when pastors join those groups and they begin to work together as a team and collaborate together, and they build trust with one another, it isn't long until they're opening up and they realize that they're not in this by themselves, that other men and women, we have women groups as well that meet together, but they're not alone, and so they begin to resource one another and help one another. One of the wonderful things about a pastoral covenant group is they're cross-cultural. It doesn't matter where the geographics are. It doesn't matter if it's in the United States of America, if it's here in Kuwait, or if it's in Asia, or if it's in Europe. Pastors are pastors all over the world, and they have similar needs. And so we go into each area, try to figure out the culture and how those groups would work in these areas. Hear the heart of the overseer and or the administrative bishop in that area, and capture the heart of a few guys that are willing to step up and facilitate the groups. And we've seen God do some incredible things.
Well, talking about being distanced in Kuwait, we know we're thousands of miles away from Cleveland, Tennessee, the international headquarters of the Church of God,
right,
in USA. So many times the pastors in Kuwait do feel alienated and being lonely and being distanced from the headquarters. So this training definitely has given them an avenue to not feel alone or distanced, but to come together in these pastoral covenant groups and build camaraderie and build a relationship,
yes, sir,
and be blessed by each other. And I want to certainly thank Dr. Bill Isaacs, the president of the Center for Pastoral Excellence, for sending you. He could not have sent a better choice, because you bring 25 years of pastoral experience to this ministry, as well as leadership training that you have received from John Maxwell. combining those together with the information from the Center for Pastoral Excellence, you have truly been a blessing to us and the pastors and everyone that attended our programs the past few days. So once again, please accept our sincere appreciation and thanks from our hearts to you for coming to Kuwait, sacrificing your time, your money, and your resources, and just to bless the body of Christ in Kuwait.
Amen.
We thank you once again, and please do go back and extend our gratitude to the leadership of the Center for Pastoral Excellence of the Churches of God.
Amen.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to more engagement in the days ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, and God bless you. Thank you very much.